Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to another episode here on Gladiator Disc Golf. Today we have a disc review, the Prodigy PA-3. If you're brand new to the channel, I want to welcome you. Thank you so much for coming and stopping by. Please make sure that you subscribe and hit that notification bell. Alrighty guys, let's talk about the Prodigy PA-3. Alright, so I recently picked up this disc in a player's pack at a recent tournament that I just played in, and I have very limited experience with Prodigy. I've only thrown a few of their molds a handful of times, and so when I saw this, I didn't even know what kind of flight path to expect with the PA-3. I looked it up on the website. It is their top selling disc, and it's definitely their top selling putt approach disc, but even so, I didn't really know a whole lot about it. It is in their 300 plastic, and which according to Prodigy is a special blend that is made specifically for putters and mids to give you great grip and feel in the hand. So it is kind of like a base plastic, but it feels a little chalkier than normal base plastics like a DX or Prime for dynamic discs, and so on and so forth. So it feels a lot stiffer in a good way. It almost honestly feels like it has the stiffness of a Luna. Luna might be a little stiffer, but it's pretty stiff like that. That's definitely what it makes me think of. In regard to the numbers, according to Infinite Discs, I believe it is a 3-speed, 4-glide, 0 turn, and 1 fade. So this is what we would call a stable putt approach disc. So especially for beginners, this is going to be a disc that will really help you learn how to throw a putter. This is obviously just going off of my one throw, how it feels in the hand, and those flight numbers. But also it has a little bit of a bead, so it sits real nicely in the hand. It's got a little bit of depth to it, so you can really curl your fingers on it and throw it. I definitely like it. For forehands, it feels good. It feels like a very similar depth to my Rhinos for the forehands, and so that is a super nice feel with the flat top. So we'll test a little bit on the forehands as well today. But yeah, so far I like this disc a lot. Not only is it a pretty, lavender purple, but yeah, it seems to be a really good beginner's disc. So let's go ahead and let's give it a couple tosses. We'll throw it on a few angles. We do have a pretty inconsistent headwind right now, meaning that sometimes it's blowing and sometimes it's still. So it'll be interesting to see how this disc handles sort of a swirling wind. And so I'm expecting it to fly pretty straight with a little bit of baby fade at the very end. It is brand new, so it will probably be slightly more overstable than normal. So keep that in mind. Alrighty, let's go ahead and let's throw this disc. That flew quite nicely on a flat line. I pulled it a little bit so it held that anny line a little bit longer than normal. I meant to throw it flat, but once again, brand new disc, still getting used to the grip and the feel of it. But that was really nice. The wind definitely pushed it more to the right. All right, let's go ahead and let's throw this on a little bit of hyzer, try and take advantage of that glide and see. Brand new, if it'll flip up. I can guarantee once this beats in, it will flip up. It's not that overstable. It's only a 1 fade and a 0 turn. So we'll see if brand new, if we can get this to flip up just a little bit. Threw it on a little bit too much hyzer, and a slightly early release made it go way left. But that disc really holds the line you put it on. That first throw I had with it, how it just held going to the right. This is definitely going to be a great disc for beginners to learn how to throw like I expected, because it will show you, and it will basically show you how you're throwing and ways that you can improve your throw. So far, I'm not loving it in the sense that I don't think it's going to replace anything in my bag, but I can definitely see how it's a great tool. And I'll probably hold on to it and just kind of give it a couple tosses and keep learning it. So let's go ahead and let's throw it some more. Alright, so that disc just went perfectly straight, and you saw me check the wind. There is a now right to left crosswind, and so that's why you guys saw it fade as much as it did. So that is the PA-3 on the backhand. And really quick, if you don't know what that PA means, it stands for putt and approach. So certain companies like Prodigy don't name every single disc, you know, a fancy name like Innova does, where you have the AVR and the Bullfrog and the Colt and the Stud and the Rat and the Mako and the Eagle, you know what I mean? So some companies like Dynamic Discs, I'm sorry, not Dynamic Discs, Discmania and Prodigy, a lot of their discs, some of them have cool names, especially if they're signature, but they mainly just keep it very simple, straightforward. PA-3, putt approach, 3 stability is more stable, PA-4 is understable, PA-1 is overstable, and Discmania is actually the opposite, where the higher number means more stability. So like an MD5 in Discmania is their super overstable mid-range, and the MD is a very stable to understable mid-range. Feeling a little bit in my shoulder. I've been having some issues with my forehand in regard to my shoulder, so which really shouldn't be happening. So I've just been working on forehanding putters a lot more and staying away from the drivers. Something just feels off, so I don't want to overdo it. So we'll do one more with the PA-3, and let's get this ideal flight. So there we are, guys, the PA-3, a great stable putt approach disc. I can definitely see why it's Prodigy's best-selling putt approach. It is a great stable putter that beginners to professionals can trust and rely on in their game. For myself, you know, I have a DX Rhino along with the Champion Rhino in my bag, and so I've been beating this Rhino in a whole lot, and it is flying very similarly to that base plastic PA-3. So for myself, for my bag, it's not going to be in the bag. You know, maybe if I really wanted a glidey putter, I could put it in, but I have a couple other options like the Casaplast Rico or the Infinite Disc Cohort that I like a little bit more than that one. So for myself, not going to go in the bag, but that doesn't make it a bad disc. And so if you are looking for a stable putt approach disc, I strongly recommend you check out the PA-3 because you really might like it. The plastic does feel really good, and it definitely is a great disc and it does exactly what it's supposed to. On that last throw, it sort of turned a little bit more once again. I checked the wind. There was a little bit of a right to left crosswind. So that's the only thing to keep in mind when using the PA-3 is that because it's really a straight neutral flyer, it's going to be affected by the wind. So you really need to make sure that you learn your angles well, you practice using the disc, and if you like it so much, you might want to check and see if they have it in a premium plastic. Otherwise, that's going to beat in and get really flippy, which you might love. I mean, putters that just hyzer flip are just awesome. If you don't believe me, watch James Conrad, okay? So that's all I have for you today, guys. That was my Prodigy PA-3 disc review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you found it super helpful. Don't forget to like this video, guys, and subscribe and hit that notification bell. Until next time, have a great round.